You know him from Jackass, CKY, the film adaptation of the MTV series of the same name, and of course Viva La Bam. But unfortunately, in recent years, as I mentioned yesterday, there are people who've gotten to know Bam by his public outbursts. And recently, he has been in a very difficult situation after revealing that he had left his wife. He's not talking to his mom, and he is leaving his son because he says his wife may be trying to use him as bait. He was seen in an airport getting into a verbal dispute with a member of airport security before being led off the premises, and the situation has just gotten uglier and uglier from there. Bam himself has struggled in the past. There was a documentary about how he actually obtained sobriety, but that is obviously now irrelevant because he is dealing with additional issues now, which is just very, very hard to see. But now Bam Margera himself is actually posting videos saying there is one man who can help him, and he's begging him to help him, and that man is none other than television personality, and I guess he's a doctor, I don't know, but he uses the name Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil, I need your help in a big, big way. My family is in shambles. It's been worse than it's ever been, ever. I've disowned my mom. I'll tell you why. Nikki, I can't stand her. I'll tell you why. Well, let's start with Phoenix Wolf. I have a 18-month-old son. I have an 18-month son, and he's the best. I love him to death, and Nikki knows that. And if we separate, I know she's going to use him as bait, and I ain't playing that game. So you could have him. And not to mention Nikki. She's stubborn. As a matter of fact, I've printed 5 pages about stubborn, and she's too stubborn to read stubborn. That's what it is. She must have invented it. It would drive a person fucking bonkers. So when people say Bam might be going crazy, hey, maybe they're right. Let's get to my mom, which is the worst part. Everything she says is negative, and she always cuts people off and never lets them finish. She's already ready to say what she's going to say before you're done. That means she's not listening, ever. And you get she invented a time machine because we go nowhere so fast that it drives me crazy. And we could do this shit for hours. So when I almost died the other day, it was super scary, and my buddy Lucia witnessed it. And he called my mom saying what happened, and she acted like the Phillies lost. It was unreal. I have it on record. I was like, F you forever, Mom. I just heard that shit, and you acted with no emotion like it happens every other Monday. You're a piece of work. Get all my bank accounts now and put them into this new one that I just made. You have until high noon. So let's wait until high noon. Dr. Phil, I've seen 28 doctors. I've been to 4 rehabs. When I went to my last rehab, they put me on more medication than I was on when I was out. When I'm out, I have Adderall and then some weird shit. I'll tell you all about it. I don't know what works and what doesn't. And occasionally, I'll have some beers usually, like 2, 3. And it's not even every night these days. Not even now. I got Gatorade. The only person I believe is you. Because when I watch you, I'm like, that's what I would have said. That's what I would have said. The only person that I will believe on the planet is Dr. Phil. Everybody else is a hee-haw head. Except for Dr. Jen. And Jackass. Jackass stars Brandon Novak. Nuh-uh, you did a cameo. Viva La Bam star. Cameo. You're not on any of that. And it drives me crazy. He says New York Times bestseller author, the dream seller, Brandon Novak. Well, I get 30% of that book, and it's only sold on Amazon. So how can it be a New York Times bestseller? He's full of it. And I see right through his fucking bullshit. He gets 15% of anybody that he puts in rehab out of $60,000 through insurance money. So it's no skin off of their ass. And he gets 15% of it. So if it's up to him, he wants everybody to go to rehab. Hey, old man sitting on a park bench, when was the last time you had a drink? I had a wine cooler like 8 years ago. Well, wine cooler, that's alcohol. That's the most withdrawal you can die from. Let me talk to your insurance company. Oh, it's compatible with Banyan. Let me put you in this rehab. You're all set to go. Not only is he not there for me, when it's time that he finds out that I'm all messed up, he just shows up, wakes me up, only to pawn me off to Bob Margera and Tim Ryan, which are cool dudes, but what the f***? He just wanted to ship me right off to a rehab. It's like, f*** you, why don't you just hang out with me for a little bit, idiot? He didn't have time for that, no. So now I have 5 of Novak's team constantly texting me, how you doing? How you doing? They're not saying, how you doing, buddy? They're saying, how you doing? Picture how frustrating that would get when you have to tell everybody how you doing and prove to them that you're doing good. If I read one more idiot say, Bam, you need to get some help. No shit, Sherlock. Why do you think I'm f***ing doing this? I need Dr. Phil. So if I read any reply that says, Bam, you need help, no shit. And I realized that the only negative things now are me not admitting my shit, which I f***ing totally forgot about because I was worried about everybody else. You're right. I do have problems. First of all, I can't shut my f***ing brain off. And it doesn't matter when I was doing Haggard and I never even drank a beer before or tried anything. I stayed up for 4 days editing because I wanted to get it finished so bad because I had it pictured in my head and I felt like if I went to sleep, I would think differently. So I wanted to get it done the way I was thinking then. I've always had this problem. My brain races, it never shuts off no matter what, but once it does shut off, it's off. And it's really hard to do. I can't get ready, put on my jammies, brush my teeth, and get ready for Betty Bye. Me passing out is like me shit-faced, wasted with my shoes still on. That's how I get to sleep good. Fuck. Shit like that. It just goes nonstop. The medicine I'm on, I get so much shit, I don't know what it does anymore, that I just stop taking it. And I hear comments about meth nonstop. How in the fuck can I get through the airport with it when my luggage is this? Phoenix Wolf's car, his shoes, and money, and a book, and more money, and a notepad, and an old-ass iPhone in BC. Good shit on it, though. What would you have today? Powerade. What are you going to have? Maybe a Snickers bar. No, willpower. Any more of my problem?
Now, that's certainly something very sad to see, but also in one of the posts, there was a comment from another one of his Jackass castmates. We showed you yesterday that Chris Pontius had commented himself, but now we have Steve-O who commented and said, there is zero mystery regarding what the solution to alcoholism and addiction is. It's the simple things us sober people do. I know you think sobriety is boring, but I can assure you my life is not boring, and what you're up to is not fun, especially for those of us who actually care about you. So that's a really, really sobering statement, for lack of a better word, from Steve-O, and we just hope that Bam gets better. We're going to be following this situation. Let's hope that he does actually obtain sobriety. There's been talk that they're going to be doing a new Jackass movie, but the way things stand right now, you can bet they're not going to do that with Bam in his current condition. So let's hope he can pull it together. The loved ones that have been trying so hard to help him, let's hope that he actually accepts that help as well. That's all for now. Thanks for joining us here today at Rockfeed. If you're new here, you can subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss out on breaking hard rock and heavy metal news. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you all very soon.